Welcome to the next chapter. This is where we focus on new horizons, seeking fresh insight from individuals who are shaping our world. And for this inaugural episode, we're on location in Dон Mueang International Airport. Most of us nowadays see aviation as little more than a way of getting from A to B. But there's a more complex narrative at work here. It's one that involves life-saving missions and crucial deliveries. So we've come here to Siam Land Flying to find out more. I'm Lawrence Smith, your guide for this journey. So we're sitting down with Mr.Greg Martin, who's the Senior Vice President of Siam Land Flying. Greg, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too.
Let's begin by talking a little bit about yourself. Could you take us through your career path up to now?
Okay, well, I'm from the UK. You might be able to tell from my accent. I started my career as a mechanical engineer, and I sort of got very quickly into the commercial side of the industry. Initially in general industrial environments, but then I moved into what I would call my aviation career, which is in supporting aircraft engines for the aviation industry. I went to work for a manufacturer of aircraft systems. I also then went to work for people who were involved in supporting airlines and business jet operators with commercial programs and such as that. And then I got into the aircraft operating business. I was contacted via LinkedIn asking me whether I would be interested to talk to an organization in Thailand who had an aviation business. That business turned out to be Siam Land Flying, and I have been with the organization now for a little bit over 10 years. Okay. And it's been a very interesting time that we've spent together. So that's how I arrived here.
Very interesting. And let's talk a little bit about the company then. Yep. How has it evolved and where did it begin?
The company dates back to about 1991. The name Siam Land Flying comes from the two initial shareholders, Siam Commercial Bank and Land & House. Since 2002, we've been part of the CP organisation. But in 1998, the business created its what we call executive wings, which is an on-demand executive transportation business. The subsequent year, 1999, Medical Wings was formed, which was I believe at the time, the first air ambulance in Thailand, one of the first in Asia. We have our own in-house maintenance capability. We also have private aircraft that we operate for owners and the principals who own those aircraft. And then finally, the last piece of our puzzle is we have a ground handling business, which is, you might be familiar when you get to the airport, you see all these people moving around the aircraft. That's ground handling. So we have a business in Phuket International Airport. We are very proud of what we've achieved there because we believe that we've created a new standard in the industry for this region.
And part of a very large and very diverse conglomerate.
Diverse and very large. I mean, we are 110 people, and obviously CP is hundreds of thousands of people, so we are extremely small. But we're privileged to service many of the senior management within the corporation. So they are highly aware of us. Sometimes the group is so large we struggle to keep up with who is from which division and so on, but we provide those services to CP as well as to obviously other commercial clients.
Are there any other ways that the company overlaps with other parts of the organisation?
I think that's increasingly relevant because everybody in the world is concerned by the climate changes. So the industry is trying to improve its carbon footprint by many actions, and one of those actions is a drive towards what's called sustainable aviation fuel. Sustainable aviation fuel is basically made from waste product, and it is a drop-in solution to replace Jet A1, which is an oil-based product. The reason why that overlaps with CP is that many of the feedstocks which are anticipated for the future of sustainable aviation fuel are actually agricultural waste. And to that end, last year, CP and Airbus entered into a memorandum of understanding associated development of sustainable aviation fuel. We hope that can lead to something very important for our industry in terms of improving its carbon footprint.
Are there any other ways that the company is able to contribute towards the CP Group's sustainability mandate?
I think we are very conscious how we do things within our operation. For example, our operation at Phuket, we use fully electric vehicles and equipment on our ramp. Traditionally in the aviation sector, those are diesel-powered vehicles and equipment. From the start, we've been very conscious of our footprint.
Let's move a little bit along towards executive wings as one of the strands of the business. What is your predominant customer base there?
It's changed a lot since COVID. Pre-COVID, most of our business was dominated by Western tourists, and our business is still very seasonal. So we have a high and a low season, generally aligned to the tourism season.
So mostly bringing people in.
Or moving them around. Very often we will connect with flights out of Suvarnabhumi where people have come in on a long-haul flight in business or first class. It does save you a lot of time and inconvenience. You don't have to go through many of the same procedures as you do if you're a commercial airline passenger. The objective is to move the client from point A to point B when they want it in a manner and a style that they enjoy the experience and do it in a very safe and controlled manner. And I'm proud to say that amongst the environment that we are working in that sector, we are considered to be a very high standard service provider, a very reliable service provider, and also a very cost competitive service provider. So many of the clients that we serve, which are what I would describe as aggregator brokers, they book on behalf of clients. We are often their first call because they like to use our service.
Okay. How competitive is it as a sector?
It's very competitive. It's very high cost, but there is a very significant number of people who provide this service. And to be very truthful, the level of demand that is in the region is far below what you would see in North America, Europe, or even the Middle East. So we're still in this infancy stage of the market in Asia. But it's something that we have to work on as an industry, but also as a company to try and get more people aware of what we can do and why it's of benefit to them.
Right. It's really encouraging to hear that it's such a popular choice for your client base.
We're proud of what we offer. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about what the future holds for us, but at this moment in time, I would say that we can count ourselves amongst the top players in the market.
How have you differentiated yourself in that way?
I think, we're very proud to be Thai, and Thailand's reputation amongst visitors in particular is high levels of service, fantastic food, interesting destinations to visit. We've focused on those core things. When we constructed the facility in Phuket, the building on the outside looks quite contemporary, and it is something that suits the purpose. But inside, the design is very contemporary style Thai. We have uniforms for our staff which are practical to work in but are based on traditional style of Thai dress. So we celebrate that. When people arrive at our facility, they are offered typical Thai drinks and also Thai food and desserts. You have no doubt where you are, and I'm very proud to say that the team have achieved that and are highly regarded by the people who use the service in Phuket.
Terrific. Okay. So moving on to the medical side of the business, how did that come about? It's quite different.
Well, I think most of us understand that Bangkok is a huge medical centre with exceptional capabilities, and it has been for a long time. They're constantly improving day by day. But people needed to get to the hospitals, and as a natural consequence of that, aircraft were used to transport patients from surrounding regions and countries to receive medical treatment here in Bangkok. I'm proud to say that in 2015 we were the first Asian air ambulance service to get the CAMPS accreditation, which is the Commission on the Accreditation of Medical Transportation Services. We got something called URAMI, which is the European Ambulance Institute. So we have a lot of complexity in the cases on that basis. So we We do hundreds of missions a year to bring people in. It's a very satisfying thing to do, very motivational to think that in a business as aviation, you don't really think you're going to help save a life, but we're very proud of what we do. Fortunately, because we are promoted and supported by CP Group, we have become involved in organ transfers. About 5 years ago, we did our first organ transfer, which was something on behalf of Chulalongkorn University Hospital and also the Red Cross. There's a very tight and defined time frame to comply with. So they are challenging in that respect, but at the same time, the reward is that we know that we've helped someone to survive. And we were acknowledged by the Red Cross last year for our contribution to that, because we're very privileged that the CP Foundation supports that for us. We're not big enough to do that on our own. So that's another important part for us as a business, to be part of such a large organisation which has a very strong corporate social responsibility.
It's a remarkable service.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think through the logistics of it though. I mean, just the ability to assemble the team. Yeah. And
we often get less than 1 hour notice.
Right.
So to get everybody together, and then the timing on the ground, the medical team has to work quickly. We have to move people around the region very quickly to get back to Bangkok. And there's a number of hours. I think the number's 4 hours between the organ being removed, certainly a heart, and it being put into the recipient's body. So very much time pressure, very little notice, and the team pulled together. Something I'm incredibly proud of in my association with the company, and I think it's something that I believe CP's proud of what we do as well.
I'm sure. I know they've mentioned it quite a few times to me, just how proud they are of that. Looking ahead, so many wonderful achievements up to now. Where do you see it over the next 10 years or so?
I think, for us, we have a very diverse business, but we're very small but perfectly formed. We would like to expand the areas that we're currently involved in, to do them in more locations. So, for example, the ground handling business is in Phuket. We would like to do that in other airports, both in Thailand and regionally. That's one thing. The other aspect of our business is air operations, so we want to operate more aircraft. We also want to expand the air ambulance service as well, to be more regionally focused, to do more work in the Asian region. So that's something that we're currently evaluating, new equipment to do that. And when I say new equipment, I mean new aircraft types. And then the last component of the puzzle from my side is that we have a long-standing interest in something called helicopter emergency medical services. We have until recently been an operator of a helicopter. Sadly, Thailand does suffer from a very high road accident rate, and this service is something that can provide great benefit to people who've been involved in incidents and accidents like that. To get immediate medical care has a huge impact on the survival of people who've been hurt in these ways. So we don't anticipate moving into new areas. We expect that we will expand in the areas that we're already present, and I think that we have established ourselves as a very dependable partner, and I think that will be the foundation of our success and the foundation of our growth.
Terrific. Really interesting talking to you. Thank you so much for your time, Greg. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So that's it for this first episode of The Next Chapter. I hope you've enjoyed this journey into the world of Siam Land Flying. If you have any suggestions for topics or interviewees that you'd like to see in future episodes of the show, please put it in the comments below. Thank you very much, and be sure to tune in next time as we continue to explore new horizons. Thank you.
So this is the aircraft we typically use for our executive wings missions. It's 8 seats. We can fly around about 5 hours without stopping for fuel. So that takes you about 2,000 nautical miles. So that means that we can get into most places in Asia without any difficulties. It's a very robust aircraft. It has served us very well. This particular aircraft has been with us for 16 years.
Really?
So we've had good service from the aircraft. We do the maintenance ourselves. Here is the configuration for the medical wings air ambulance flights. So we have a stretcher system here. It's not just a stretcher, it's on a base which has got some of the vital equipment for a intensive care unit, sort of a standard. So there's oxygen, there's power, there's monitoring equipment that's part of this and also can be added to it. Typically where you're sat there is where the medical team will sit. The patient will be on here. They're going to be lying with their head pointing that way. The fact is that this very simple system can add a tremendous amount of value to someone's life because it can get them to the medical treatment that they require to recover from their condition.
Catch the next chapter only on We Are CP. Discover what's next and be part of the journey.